proceed to building property background. So, the Islamic Art Museum Malaysia was officially opened on 12 December 1998. The museum is located in the heart of Kuala Lumpur tourist belt amidst the lush greenery of Perdana Botanical Garden and within walking distance to the National Mosque, Bird Park and Asia Planetarium. As we can see, this museum, the Islamic Art Museum Malaysia, are very in a strategic places because it is so near to other attraction of Kuala Lumpur. So, housing extensive collection of Islamic decorative art from all over the world is also located inside this building. This stunning building is located at the fringe of the 227-acre Lake Gardens. The museum is also the largest museum of Islamic arts in Southeast Asia with more than 7,000 artifacts from the Islamic world. This also prove that this museum are very unique and very strategic to be built as located in the heart of Kuala Lumpur. Now, I will show you guys a bit example and a bit teaser about how does Museum of Islamic Art Malaysia look like. Now, let's go!
Okay, next is property management setup, and here I will explain about property management setup for Islamic Art Museum Malaysia (IAMM).
Islamic Art Museum Malaysia use both in-house and outsourced management type, but majority of management are using in-house to conduct their facilities. This museum have their own facilities management department, and in this department they function to find maintaining vendor contracts, do maintenance and building improvement and others. In this museum also have a housekeeping department to keep the venue clean and sanitary as part of customer service. Okay, next is IT department. An IT department can manage the network by ensuring this museum have a consistent connection to the internet. Aside from that, IT department set this museum with the dedicated servers that allow them to store more information. Both of these types are using in-house management type, while for the security department they are using outsourced management. This is to secure the premise and personnel by patrolling property and inspecting all the part of building, equipment and access point. What the advantage of in-house in this museum? Okay, first, they can save the cost on training and the employees. When the company has to train its employees for a particular job, then it is always beneficial to bring the trainer to the employees rather than arrange the training session somewhere else. By doing this, museum can save a lot of their expenditure and their purpose will also be solved. However, there are also disadvantage of in-house management. First, the extra administration costs will be incurred. Okay, although this museum will save money by training the staff within, at the same time, this museum will have to organize for the training room, projector, various other requirements that are demanded by the trainer.
So I will start for 3.0, which is commentaries of the property management setup. For this topic, we will explain about the standard that comply for our case study. Today, I will be representing about how Museum Kesenian Islam Malaysia comply Standard 5 of the Malaysian Property Management Standard (MPMS). So Standard 5 is a maintenance management. A comprehensive maintenance management program of a property shall cover the following area, which is corrective management, plan management and service provider. From the interview with Encik Halim, which is a head director for the museum, they only comply for plant maintenance. So, what is plant maintenance? Plant maintenance is a maintenance activity that will be planned, documented, and scheduled by property management according to the correct scope of work. The aim of plant maintenance is to reduce downtime by having all necessary resources on hand. There are two main type of plant maintenance. For the first is plant preventive maintenance, which is scheduled maintenance aimed at repairing assets before they fail or the facilities break down. The second one is planned and unscheduled maintenance, which is based on having a strategy in place to repair or replace an asset as quickly as possible when it fails. So for this museum, they comply for preventive maintenance. So as I mentioned before, this preventive maintenance refers to routine scheduled maintenance uh, aim at repairing assets before they fail or the facilities break down. It means maintenance work will be performed while the equipment is still working, so that it does not break down unexpectedly. As mentioned by Encik Halim during the interview, they make a proper schedule for maintenance works to make sure all the facilities work smoothly throughout the day. Okay, so next, what is the routine to manage the museum? According to Encik Halim, all the facilities at the museum, including mechanical and electrical, such as air conditioning system and wiring system, will be serviced and maintenance around one times per 3 months to avoid the facilities to break down. Next, how does the maintenance is organized? As as that from Encik Halim, there will be a many group of team that will be divided with the different color code of uniform to manage and control for every area at the museum. Every day there will be a briefing of maintenance of work for each team to be well prepared for their maintenance work. And last but not least, how does the property manager timely ensure the renewal of all license permits and certificate? Uh, for this part, forecasting team, which is from financial management, will take part for this job to renewal all the workers permit, license, and certificate. That's all from me. Thank you.
So next is 3.4 Standard 9. Standard 9 is health, safety, and emergency management. There are always a possibility for unexpected incident and accident that will occur to every property. So as a property manager, their responsibility is to cover and prevent from this type of risk, hazard, and emergency. So does the Museum Islamic Art comply to the Standard 9 Health Safety and Emergency Management? The answer is yes. They even have their own safety precaution that they develop for the museum. So there are several important systems that Mr. Halim have mentioned. The first one is HSSD. Next is wet and dry system. Next is gas engine system, and lastly SCADA or SPKA. So for HSSD, it means high sensitivity smoke detection. It is the most sensitive smoke detector. It is designed to give an early indication of fire, so it will give you enough time to take a corrective action. Next is a wet and dry system. Both wet and dry system use a sprinkler, but in a different way. In wet system, the pipe are filled with pressurized water, while in dry system, the pipe is filled with pressurized nitrogen or air. This is the table for the types of system of the sprinkler. Other basic firefighting systems such as fire extinguisher and hose reel are also included. Next is a gas ignition system. It uses gas to extinguish fire. Any ignition is the mixture of 52 nitrogen, 40% argon, and 8% carbon dioxide. Next is SCADA and SPKA. SCADA means supervisory control and data acquisition, is monitoring in real life time, whilst SPKA means sistem pengawasan kebakaran. The fire department or bomber have made it compulsory for all designated premise to have SPKA. Lastly is emergency and evacuation plan. Mostly the emergency plan is created by the employee, and on the right side you can see the emergency assembly point, which is parking lot. That's all from me. Thank you.
3.5 Standard 11 Facilities Management. Now we will be looking into Standard 11 of the Malaysian Property Management Standard (MPMS) and how this museum complies with it under the scope of facilities management. Okay, this standard is vital in forming an organization to maintain and develop the agreed services in which it support and improve the effectiveness of the museum activity or its primary activity. As the head of department, HOD of Islamic Art Museum Malaysia, Encik Halim, states that there are several essential services that are used to ensure and improve the effectiveness of the museum's activities. Before we start, let's listen to the audio of which Encik Halim he point out how this museum comply with Standard 11 of the Malaysian Property Management Standard.
Maintenance, academic facilities, music people, housekeeping, scripting dengan IT lah. IT bawah operation. Yang lain tu inventory department, conservation department, HR and admin, library dan adalah sikit department lagi ya. Okay, itu general lah.
Such areas of facilities management that has been mentioned during the interview session are as follows. First, housekeeping, or they call it as museum keeper. Second, safety, maintenance, testing and inspections, security, surveillance, fire safety, operation of facilities, the tender process to subcon or any agreed service, tenancy or lease management, space allocation and changes, and lastly, IT system. Besides, Encik Halim responsible for setting up a systematic approach for the management and maintenance of the museum. In this context, the HOD of this museum is involved by integrating the service related to improve the functionality of the museum. As per our interview with Encik Halim, he mentioned that Islamic Art Museum Malaysia has been using in-house services except for the one who needs specific specialists. So, now that I have done presenting on museums property management compliant with the standard of MPMS, let's move on to the next presenter.
The museum has 3 galleries, which are used for special exhibitions. When not in use for this purpose, they are available to rent. There are 3 exhibition spaces in International Art Museum Malaysia. 2 of it are special closed gallery and 1 of it is an open space gallery.
A car park is a designated area or building where cars and other vehicles can be parked and left for temporary. Lift or elevator. Elevator or lift is a form of vertical transport used primarily to move between multiple floors by visitors and staff. These are used to transport people or goods from one floor to another.
The exhibition space of the Islamic Art Museum Malaysia differ from the most museums as the galleries are housed in a vast open area. The lack of special divide allows visitors to pass from one exhibition area to the next without interruption, representing the Islamic spirit of continuation. The Islamic Art Museum Malaysia has 2 floors of permanent galleries and 2 special galleries for temporary exhibition. Islamic Art Museum Malaysia have many types of galleries such as Architecture Gallery, Quran Gallery and Manuscript Gallery.
The Children's Library has a variety of fictions and non-fiction books. All books are for in-house reading only. Apart from books on Islam and Islamic art, other subjects are also in the collection such as science, art, architecture, history and many more interesting subjects for the curious mind. The Scholars Library, established as a center of education for the study of Islamic art, culture and civilization. The Scholar Library launched on 4 December 2018 by the Prime Minister of Malaysia Yang Amat Berhormat Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Its mission is to collect and preserve resources related to the literary heritage of the Islamic world as well as to educate and enlighten researchers and scholars working in the field by making it available to them. The library houses over 20,000 titles categorized under the open collections, reference, and special collection which consists books, collector's items, scholarly journals, art magazine, auctions, catalogs, photograph and audio-visual material. Located at the ground floor, the museum shop offers a unique selection of Islamic craft and artifacts from around the world. For children, there is special selections which features books, puzzles, and other educational material emphasizing on Islamic knowledge and good manners. A variety of products exclusively developed by the Islamic Art Museum Malaysia is also on display. The museum shop is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Sunday, including most public holidays.
Rediscover the rich flavor of Middle Eastern cuisine in warm and relaxed Moza restaurant setting located at the ground floor of the Islamic Art Museum Malaysia. Moza restaurant offer popular delicacies from the Middle Eastern region. They are open every day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and entrance to Moza restaurant is free and there is ample free parking.